Every time we speak, we reveal more than just our words. We reveal identity, culture, belonging, and yes, gender. Sociolinguistics is the study of how language interacts with society. One of its most compelling areas is how language and gender intersect, because how we speak and how we're expected to speak often depends on whether we're perceived as male, female, or something in between or beyond. From childhood, people are socialized into gendered patterns of speech. Research shows that girls are often encouraged to be polite, cooperative, and expressive, while boys are often rewarded for being assertive, direct, and competitive. Over time, these patterns can shape different linguistic styles. In conversation, studies have found that women are more likely to use hedges, phrases like sort of, maybe, or I guess, which can soften statements. They may use more tag questions like, it's cold today, isn't it? Or more politeness strategies. These features are sometimes misinterpreted as signs of uncertainty, but they often serve social functions, like encouraging dialogue, showing empathy, or maintaining harmony. Men, by contrast, are more likely to use direct statements and interruptions. In mixed-gender conversations, men statistically interrupt more often, but the reasons are complex. Some interruptions show dominance, but others signal enthusiasm or engagement. Language is rarely simple. Pronunciation also plays a role. In many communities, linguistic change is led by women. From vowel shifts in American English to the rise of new dialects in multilingual cities, women are often linguistic innovators, pushing language forward while men tend to be more conservative in their speech. But sociolinguistics isn't just about men versus women. It's about the expectations attached to gender and how people navigate, resist, or reinforce them. For example, some speech patterns that are labeled feminine or masculine shift depending on context, culture, or who's listening. In other words, gendered language is performative. We do gender through language. This is especially clear in transgender and non-binary communities, where individuals often consciously reshape their speech, adjusting pitch, intonation, vocabulary, and conversational style to align with their identity or challenge traditional norms. Here, language becomes a tool of both affirmation and resistance. Even our vocabulary reflects gender bias. Words like bossy or shrill are disproportionately used to describe assertive women, while similar behavior in men might be called confident or strong. Language doesn't just reflect culture, it reinforces it. Think about job titles: fireman, chairman, policeman. These have historically centered male identities, but over time, gender-neutral alternatives like firefighter, chairperson, and police officer have become more common. Language evolves as society evolves, and language can exclude. Studies show that medical, legal, and academic texts often use male pronouns as default, even when referring to people in general. This seemingly small detail subtly reinforces the idea that male is the norm. Importantly, sociolinguists also emphasize variation. Not all men speak one way, and not all women speak another. Class, race, region, age, and sexuality all intersect with gender to shape how people speak. A working-class woman from Glasgow may speak very differently from an upper-class woman in Tokyo. There's no single female or male way of speaking. Ultimately, language and gender are fluid, negotiated, and shaped by culture, identity, and power. To understand how we speak is to understand how we live, because every sentence, every word, even every pause can tell us something deeper about who we are and who we're allowed to be. Sociolinguistics doesn't just ask how men and women speak. It asks who gets heard, who gets interrupted, and whose voice gets to define the conversation. and those are questions worth listening to.